Second? I got Bonnie, and then I got Rob's, yep, and KRS statute.
60. Hang on. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
61 something. $61.810 subsection 1C to discuss litigation threatened in writing regarding a pending zoning application.
All right, I need a roll call, please.
Okay, Bonnie,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Faith,
Yes.
Mike.
All right. second?
Second.
Second. Nikki, give me a.
Okay. Bonnie,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
All right, thank you, council, and there's no action taken at this time, Tom? All right. So I need to wait back for my city attorney, we've got a couple minutes here, we'll be right back, okay? Thank you all for being here. Be right back. And, hey, Mike?
You need to adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah, 'cause this is a special.
need a motion to adjourn? I'm sorry, I'm just.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep.
Second.
All right.
A motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to wait on Rob to come back. Jennifer,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to wait for Brad before we can fully adjourn.
Did your
Or
mom-
Rob, I'm sorry.
Did your mom leave?
Did your mom leave?
Good.
Okay, thank you.
I thought I had EJ here, but I don't see EJ. All right, Miss Bonnie, you're gonna be doing that.
DJ's not here.
He's supposed to be here.
Nathan's here, isn't he?
Who?
Nathan's here.
Oh, Nathan. Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, so, Mr. Nathan Young, would you come up here and lead us an invocation, please? And a pledge? All right, thank you.
Father, thank you so much for your grace in our lives and for our city leadership that cares deeply about our community. I pray that you would give us wisdom and that you would, more than anything, that you would be honored and glorified in all that we do tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. All right. Glasses are really bad. All right. Call to order. The meeting is starting at, what time you got there, Nikki? 6:04. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Want to roll call, please?
Yep. Mike,
Here.
Rob,
Here.
Jennifer,
Here.
Brad,
Here.
and Bonnie.
Here.
All right. I need approval for the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Rob, second by Jennifer.
All right.
Ms. Nikki.
Had
Oh.
one question on
Yeah.
the minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was on one of the votes.
I don't have it with me.
I don't have them printed. Yeah, he'll just have to, let me know what he.
Let me know what you got there, Brad. and we'll-
I wanted to verify, under 7.1, was the vote correct on that?
On 7.1,
The vote?
Yeah.
okay. I'll have to go back and check it out, Brad.
Now, if,
What do you got there, Jennifer?
It was,
it's not, it
Okay.
should be 4-2
Yep.
on that
Okay.
one, yeah.
All right, well, I'll go back and fix that.
yeah, that was the only thing I had.
Or, well,
Fix
yeah.
7.1.
Yeah, I feel like that was a 4-2 maybe.
yeah.
Okay, I'll have to go back to
It was
the
a-
video and check it.
It was a 3-2. Mike
Well, abstain.
abstained.
No, that's what
Or
it is.
yeah,
Okay,
it was a 3-2.
all right.
Yep, we'll get that fixed.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that was the only question.
Everything, we good on that? All right,
I
Ms. Nikki.
totally missed that.
Okay. Bonnie,
Here.
Yes.
do we want to
Yes.
approve
Yes.
those,
Sorry.
or do we want to wait until they're fixed and then approve them?
On that, you gotta do, what do you have down for Mike?
Want me to fix them and then approve them next time?
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's
We-
what we'll do.
All right, we'll do that.
We'll just skip that then.
All right. Now, against my religion, I'm gonna invite a guy up here, and you deserve that, JD. So JD Cheney, would you come up here, sir? We'd love to have you. We are glad to have you in our city. Come on up here for a minute. I want you to, if you don't mind, would you first of all introduce yourself? Yes, sir, right up here.
You want to turn that
So-
on for him?
I don't know if he can do that or not. Maybe we don't. See, I got you again. Just put the little button on the top there, sir.
In the front.
Right up front, right there, right up front.
Right there.
Look at that.
Green.
Glad to have you here. Really am honored to have you here. KLC's always been a great partner. We're glad to have you here. I think you have something you'd like to do with us today.
Yes, sir. Mayor, thank you, members of the council and staff. It's been a while since I've been here, maybe about a year break. Last time I was here, I think we were celebrating some pretty good stuff, which I understand is going well for the city of Shepherdsville. Sounds like things are moving along nicely for your community. We appreciate all you all have done, coming to KLC conference. Saw several of you there this last year. Did you make it, Mayor?
I was, no, not the one. No, I missed the one.
No,
This.
missed the KLC
Yeah.
conference. But we
Vacation.
we did miss having you there, and so
Thank you.
we appreciate all you all do, and all Shepherdsville does with the League of Cities. KLC, as you all know, was formed nearly 100 years ago. Was based on the idea that we needed to pool our cities together, all 408 cities that we have now in Kentucky together, to have a unified voice in Frankfort on policy that impacts the running of our city governments and how you serve your constituents. So many of the decisions that are made in Frankfort ends up impacting your ability to serve your citizens, whether that's related to taxation, whether that's related to land use, which I understand is a topic of conversation around here, or whether that's policing authority and other matters related to the operation of city government, all that flows from decisions made from the state legislature, since we're ultimately, city governments are ultimately creatures of the state legislature. So we rely on good policymakers in Frankfort to make good decisions that enable you to be responsive for to your constituents and enable you all to be able to serve your constituents the best way possible. We do not have PACs. We don't give money to legislators like a lot of organizations do. We don't do these report cards. If you think about all the things that city government's involved in, contract law, pension law, all the environmental law, all utility law, it's across the board. And so we don't do report cards, we don't give PACs, but we do like to recognize legislators, and our board of directors does vote on legislators that do have a tremendously positive impact on city governance. And your all-state senator, Senator Mike Nemes, has certainly done that throughout his career with the legislature. When he was in the House, he did that. He was a tremendous friend to Kentucky city governments, and he's done so since he's been in the Senate. And now he sits in a very important position in the Kentucky State Senate as chair of the Senate State and Local Government Committee. So almost every single bill that flows through the legislature that impacts the operation of local governments and state government. So it's a hugely busy committee. They're talking state pensions. They're also looking at all the state run agencies that comes through that, and everything related to city and county government, or special taxing districts, fire districts, ambulance. The myriad of issues that comes through that committee and the complexity of that, sitting as chair of that committee is an extremely important position. And Senator Nemes has done that with great distinction and given us a great deal of help from a city government perspective since he sat in that chair for the past year. He was a major champion on Senate Bill 10 last session. He was co-sponsor on that bill and made sure it was heard. And if you all have not kept up, your employees when they retire are going to get a much enhanced health care benefit upon retirement as a result of the passage and his support and pushing of Senate Bill 10 involved in the pension requirements. There were 6 or 7 other important bills that he helped shepherd through that process as chairman, put his fingerprints on as chairman, and amendments that we made, including being able to protect our open records requests that were made to police departments to protect ongoing investigations. That was an extremely important bill. He saved our hide on that bill. I think if he had not been sitting in that chair spot, there is no way that we would have gotten that bill passed, which protected police officers, police departments from releasing investigative materials during the middle of an investigation process before they decided whether to charge or make a decision on prosecution. So our board of directors voted, and it's my privilege to be able to offer one of the very few 2025 Kentucky Friend of Cities Award to Chairman Senator Mike Nemes from right here in Cook County. He may not want to do that with me.
Take one with the mayor.
Nope.
You want us to come up here, Mayor, and take one with everybody?
I don't have to be next to JD though.
I'll give it a second. You know he knows, JD knows I love him. JD, thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for representing. Absolutely, come on up here. Come on. Thank you so much.
Well, I know y'all weren't here for this, so I won't take much time. But I wanted to thank JD and the League of Cities, and I wanted him to speak about what the League of Cities does and how important they are and how important your city is in that they work together on things. And I'm just humbled to be a part of helping the cities in this county plus throughout the state. So I asked for it to be awarded here so that you all would understand what the importance of what they do and what the judge does and the cities does for this. And this is the grassroots. You all are here to get things done that you want and to be heard. So to be heard in Frankfort through them is very important. For me to accept an award for just doing my job, because I don't think I did anything special for this award. I think I was just doing my job. I wanted to be here with the people. So thank you.
Nick, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And JD, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you do, JD. All right. All right. All right. Ronnie Perkins, come on down. I'll let you go up there. Yep. Yep. Well, first of all, oh yeah, we need to do that first. So it's already on for you, so come on up here for a minute. So we need, no, right there, by that speaker, right there. It's ready to go, it's green, and it's ready to go for you to speak. We want to introduce you to this council. We need one more person on our ethics board. And this fine man here decided he would volunteer, and we appreciate that part. So if you'd like to, at least for this council members, introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself, and we appreciate that you're wanting to do this for us.
Mayor, board, good evening, staff. My name's Ron Perkins. Like the mayor said, I found out that there was a vacant seat on the Ethics Commission, and based on my background, I feel that I would be a good member of the team. A little bit about myself: I'm a retired Army veteran. I retired 3 years ago. I had approximately 24 years of military service. I started out in the Marine Corps and then transitioned over into the Army, and have retired. Like I said, 3 years ago, and since I've transitioned into the private sector, I've gone into the human resources professional development side of the house. So my experience in dealing with ethics goes all the way back throughout my military career. I did get a copy of the city ordinance. Being in the military, I'm very fond and familiar with regulations, guidance, source documents per se. I did read over the city ordinance and absolutely feel like the power, the responsibility, and the duties that's in the ordinance, my experience would absolutely lend well into ensuring that we are maintaining the ethical standards that the state of Kentucky has enforced on the city, as well as the city ordinance. So looking forward to an opportunity.
So council, if you guys have any questions for, he's very qualified. The HR part is an integral part as far as ethics. We think that your background is very well qualified for it, so.
Who left the ethics?
I'm sorry?
Who
We have
left the
Pam Peebler and then Ms. Joe. That's right.
Oh,
So we got, that's our three.
Oh, who left? Candace. Did Candace leave?
Yes. Yeah. We lost about a year ago. Candace removed that. But anyway, so I just want to make sure, Rob, Mike, anybody have any questions? All right, so I do need to make a motion to approve Ronnie as this individual on our ethics. All right?
Second.
Second by Rob. A vote. And then she's got a swearing in to do with you right there.
Okay.
To come down and see you.
I'm used to that.
Okay, Mike,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
and Bonnie.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry for making
And
sure.
the vote.
Thank you. All right. She's going to swear you in now and then make it official.
Sounds good.
All right? Thank you, council. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true as a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of the Ethics Board Member for the City of Shepherdsville according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God.
So help me God. I do.
All right, can you sign
All
right
right.
here, please? Thank you so much.
Ronnie, we're glad to have you on the team. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, thank you, Ms. His term is it's two, I forgot it's 1 year, then it rotates, you guys. It's his, so I thought, so I gotta go look at the I don't know which week you're gonna be, as far as the time. I gotta find out like which one's 1, 2, it's one goes off every 1 year. He's 1, and then it goes, okay.
Okay.
So we'll get, thank you, sir. Yeah, we got you locked in now. It's not one of those things you're gonna go away. No, can't turn back. All right, well, thank you. All right, well, Miss Amber Odell, come on up here for a minute. Give us a little update on some things we're doing.
Good evening, council.
All right, good evening.
So a couple events that's going to take us through the rest of the year I wanted to talk to you all about. Coming up, we have the Mayor's Spooky Halloween Walk on October 25th. This walk is actually in the evening time, starts at 5 o'clock. The featured nonprofit for this one is the Canine Companions. We're asking a suggested $10 donation go towards them for each walk participant to donate that. Something about the Canine Companions, they're a national nonprofit providing trained service dogs to children, adults, and veterans with disabilities completely free of charge. Their dogs assist with daily tasks, offer emotional support, and help foster independence. It's a great cause that we're proud to support. And to see Gracie with Ready each day, that she's here, he helps her pick up papers, he picks up her cell phone. So just the daily, he even opens doors for us. So it's amazing to see what these dogs can do for individuals that need that help.
I want to make sure everybody understands that it is a 5K walk. It's about a 45-minute walk. We're actually doing it at nighttime because it's got a cemetery. We're going to go to the old jail there behind the fiscal court. Just to have some fun with it that day. But it's all emphasizing walking. It's a free, there's no cost to the event itself, but we want you all to know that if we can make donations to this organization, it helps those that need service dogs. So we appreciate that. But we just want to have fun. We want people to get out and walk a little bit. Tom, I'm going to grab you. You're going to go walking with us. All right. All right. I'm sorry, Miss Amber. Go right
It's
ahead.
okay. October 31st on Halloween, Shepherdsville Fire Department and Paracut Springs will have their annual Halloween event at Paracut Springs. It's free, family-friendly Halloween fun, candy, games, and community booths. If you would like to set up a free booth, contact Major Calvert at 502-322-5933. And then it's not too early to start thinking about Christmas. So Light Up Shepherdsville is December 6th, 5 to 8. It all happens down South Buckman Street. Vendors and food trucks open at 5. The parade will start at Bullet Lick like it always has in the past at 6 o'clock. And then we're changing things up with all the construction stuff that's going on. Santa will actually be at the Shepherdsville Farmers Market this year. So after the fire department comes through with him, he'll be let off at the farmers market for pictures with the kids. Food trucks have already been filled. We are still accepting craft vendors, so any people that want to set up as a craft vendor, they can reach out to me. If you are wanting to participate in the parade, Courtney Burden will be that contact, and her information is, her phone number is 502-931-0767. And then the last event of the year that we wrap up with is the Kids Winterfest. It's actually here. That event's near and dear to my heart. My son actually is over that event. He is 10 years old. 3 years ago it started. He asked Mayor if he could have an event free for the kids of Shepherdsville. He wanted the kids to come and enjoy all the free things. So anywhere from free pictures with Santa, they have a free dinner when they're here, free face painting, free games. This year he has live DJ entertainment. He went from having 14 sponsors to having 31 sponsors right now. So it's a big accomplishment when you're 10 years old. So
He's not on the payroll. He's not on the payroll. He is not on the payroll.
So all of this is just dear to him because, you know, he just wants to have something free for the kids. So that's December 19th, 5:30 to 7:30 here at the Government Center.
So I do want to make sure the Light Up Shepherdsville is really, and there's a lot of construction, as you well know, even around that area. So it's not going to happen this year, but hopefully sometime in the spring, we're going to be able to open up that town square. You can see where the arches are going to be put up there. But we would have loved to level that off and actually have it there. So, but in the farmer's market, instead of being on the street, we're going to light it up a whole lot and to make sure we have a really good sound system so people can know that we count down for the light up for Shepherdsville. But again, next year, it ought to be a blast right there in front of that town square. So a lot of good things coming with that area, but we were trying to look at making that happen. That's gonna be too tight. So, but I think it's gonna be fun. And I think the Winterfest, if you haven't been there, kids come out, a lot of activities, lots of food for the kiddos, and, Max has done a good job with it.
Oh,
Ooh, if
he's
I'd have said
gonna be
that,
upset
oh,
with
he's gonna
you.
get me. But Max has done a good job with it, and, I just appreciate his heart, and it's for those kids that obviously, families just come out and they have a good time, it's no cost, and, people really appreciate that activity. A lot of things like we do that in the city, so, thank you very much, Ms. Amber.
Anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Amber? We good?
Thank you.
All right, all right. All right, let's make sure where we're at here. We're finishing up on that part. All right, old business. All right, and this was the property that's down there on the Field of Grace property. Is that what this is? All right, so 7.1, Ms. Catherine, we need a reading on the 025034.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025034, an ordinance making technical corrections to ordinance 025008 with respect to the total acreage of the territory annexed by the City of Shepherdsville on June 9, 2025, sponsored by Councilmember Brad Whitaker. Summary, Section 1 sets forth that ordinance 025008 is amended to make technical corrections so that the text of the ordinance is consistent with that of the licensed professional land surveyor's legal metes and bounds description that was in and on exhibits attached and incorporated by reference therein. Section 2 sets forth that the technical corrections to the acreage and parcel identification number of the territory annexed. Section 3 sets forth the severability clause. Section 4 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 5 sets forth the publication requirement.
All right, so after we get this, I've got something I need to take care of. All right, first of all, we've discussed this already. Basically, it's just a technicality. We want to make sure that the records are correct as far as the acreage on that property. That's all this was. I want to make sure that you all are aware of that. I don't know, I haven't heard any questions on that, but I do need a motion and a second to accept that correction on that.
I'll motion.
All right,
Second.
Jennifer? Second by Rob. All right, Ms. Nikki?
All right, Mike,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
All right, thank you, council. So I apologize, we're gonna stop on actually this. There is a proclamation we'd like to make. This proclamation declares October the 14th, 2025 as Charlie Kirk Day in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Whereas on October the 14th, 1993, Charlie James Kirk was born, and upon his life, he would devote himself to civic engagement, public discourse, and the encouragement of his generation to participate in the institutions of American self-governance. And whereas Charlie Kirk was the founder and leader of Turning Point USA, an organization that sought to mobilize young Americans in support of limited government, free markets, and individual liberty. And whereas over the course of his activism, Charlie Kirk spoke on college campuses, via media platforms, and in public forums to promote his convictions that free speech, popular participation, and the principles of the founding are essential to the enduring success of the American Republic. And whereas, in the exercise of his public voice, Charlie Kirk's life was tragically cut short on September the 10th, 2025, while addressing students promptly, national reflection on political violence, civil discourse, and the responsibilities of citizenship. Whereas many Americans, including students, leaders, and citizens across the country, have expressed sorrow at his passing, while acknowledging the need to continue robust and respectful debate in public life. Whereas it is fitting and proper on the date of his birth to set aside time to honor his memory, to reflect on the ideals he championed, to encourage renewed commitment to civic engagement, virtuous leadership, and the open marketplace of ideas. Now, therefore, I, Jose Cabero, Mayor of Shepherdsville, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim October the 14th, 2025, as Charlie Kirk Day in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. I urge all citizens and organizations to observe this day with appropriate programs, moments of remembrance, and efforts to renew the commitment to constructive dialogue, respect for free expression, and the service to the civic life of our nation. I'm honored to have this as a day here in Shepherdsville. Let us all remember, our dialogue is going to keep us moving forward. So let's always remember that. So thank you all for listening and proclaiming this day in Shepherdsville. Let me sign that for you.
Also want to tell everybody there is a memorial tomorrow evening at Bullitt Central at 7 o'clock at the football field for Charlie Kirk.
So you're all welcome. All right, Ms. Catherine? 7.5 here is 02538. Oh, am I doing the wrong one? Which one? Oh, I'm sorry. 37. What am I at here? Oh, right here. Yep, 35. I apologize, 025035.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025035, an ordinance amending the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 0.982 acres more or less located at 632 Old Preston Highway South in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037-000-00015, from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business, sponsored by Councilmember Mike Hibbert. Summary, Section 1 sets forth that the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 14, 2025, docket number 2025Z-29, and recommended that the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of approximately 0.92 acres located at 632 Old Preston Highway South, also known as parcel 037-000-00015, hereinafter subject property. AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council held a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Section 3 sets forth that the City Council adopts the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission's findings of fact and recommendations, including but not limited to any and all restrictions placed on the subject property, as set forth in docket number 2025Z-29. Section 4 sets forth that the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map are hereby amended to change the zoning of the subject property from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business with restrictions. Section 5 sets forth the severability clause. Section 6 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 7 sets forth the publication requirement.
All right, so this is the first one. We've obviously had a lot of conversation, and on this one here, I need a motion.
Is this the, which one is this?
This is the front part that's out there on
Store?
Cedar Road. Yeah, this is the store up on.
No,
I'm sorry.
No,
The store.
What did
This
you
is the house.
Oh.
this is,
Oh, this is only the 1 acre, I'm sorry.
That's the one up front,
I think this is the very front one,
where
towards
the house will be.
where the house for the person living there will be. It's, it has
sorry,
an
Rob.
entrance
Sorry
to
about that.
what, 480C?
Yeah.
No, that's the entrance there. Got it mixed up there. All right. So we need a motion.
Motion to accept.
All right, second.
I'll second.
Second by Brad.
All right. Mike,
Yes.
Rob,
I have to be a no on this. There's still a lot of safety concerns within the neighborhood.
Jennifer,
No.
Brad,
Yes.
Bonnie,
No.
All right, Ms. Catherine, 025-036.
This is the one for the store.
No, yeah, it's the 2.6.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025037, an ordinance amending the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 2.94 acres more or less located at Charles Hamilton Way in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037-000-00014AA, from AG Agricultural to B2 Central Business, sponsored by Councilmember Mike Himbert. Summary, Section 1 sets forth that the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 14, 2025, docket number 2025Z-31, and recommended that the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of approximately 2.94 acres located at Charles Hamilton Way, also known as parcel 037-000-000-014AA, hereinafter subject property, AG Agricultural to B2 Central Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Section 3 sets forth that the City Council adopts the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission's findings of fact and recommendation, including but not limited to any and all restrictions placed on the subject property, as set forth in docket number 2025Z-31. Section 4 sets forth that the Bullitt County City zoning order and the Bullitt County City zoning map are hereby amended to change the zoning of the subject property from AG Agricultural to B2 Central Business with restrictions. Section 5 sets forth the severability clause. Section 6 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 7 sets forth the publication requirement.
this one should be the tourist camp. 2.6 acres. This is the tourist camp.
I don't have anything in front of me.
B1,
Because I'm-
it's.
This is a B2. It might be incorrect on
Around
it.
36?
Yes.
Okay, that's not that's the tourist camp. 2.9 acres
Is the front.
Is the thrift store. Yeah, 2.94 acres is a store. Yeah.
This one is the tourist.
And this is a B1
Whatever.
business and not the B2.
All right, so I just read 3.7.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I think I
Okay.
skipped, did I skip 3.6?
You
Yeah,
did.
yes,
All
you
right.
did.
Okay,
Well, I read
so-
3.7. Can we
Okay,
just
so we're
skip to
both
that
on-
one since
yeah.
I read that?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
apologize,
let's skip to
guys.
that one.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Like to keep y'all on your toes, make sure you're paying attention.
Okay. All right, so we need a motion for 025037.
Motion to approve.
And that's
All
for
right.
the tourist camp.
No, this is
correct?
for the
It's for the
store.
store.
Thrift
This is for the
store.
store.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 3.7. I apologize, I skipped one, Bonnie.
All right.
I need
Just
a
to make it
second.
even more confusing, I
I've
accidentally
just
skipped
been
one.
enough today.
Second, Brad.
Okay. All right, Bonnie,
For thrift store, the answer is yes.
okay. Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Rob,
I'm a no on this one as well. I had a lot of complaints about the mess.
Okay.
So, no.
Mike,
Yes.
Okay. All right, now 7.3, 025036.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025. 036, an ordinance amending the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 2.603 acres more or less located at Charles Hamilton Way in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037-000-00014AA from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business, sponsored by Councilmember Mike Hibbert. Summary. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 14, 2025, docket number 2025Z-30, and recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of approximately 2.603 acres located at Charles Hamilton Way, also known as parcel 037-000-00014AA, hereinafter subject property from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Section 3 sets forth that the City Council adopts the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's findings of fact and recommendations, including but not limited to any and all restrictions placed on the subject property as set forth in docket number 2025Z-30. Section 4 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map are hereby amended to change the zoning of the subject property from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business. Section 5 sets forth the severability clause. Section 6 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 7 sets forth the publication requirement.
All right, thank you, Ms. Catherine. Again, we need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Rob,
Second.
second by Mike for 025036.
okay. Rob,
No.
Jennifer,
No.
Mike,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Bonnie,
No.
All right, council. All right, at this point. Three, C, seven, all right. Ms. Catherine, 7.5025-038.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025038, an ordinance amending ordinance 025-013 related to a personnel and pay rate classification plan for city employees and non-elected city officers for the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow. Summary. Section 1 sets forth that ordinance 025013 is amended as set forth herein. Section 2 sets forth that Section 3 is amended to authorize the Public Works Department to have one full-time employee for the position of Parks and Recreation Assistant Director. Section 3 sets forth the severability clause. Section 4 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 5 sets forth the publication requirement.
All right, basically, what we did was we just shifted a person. We took somebody out of Public Works and put them in Parks Rec. To kind of go back what we said, we make moves like that on positions, Brad. I want to make sure I emphasize that again to you. We'll be doing that again. And if for some reason, obviously with kind of just some of the conversations with Parks Rec and all the things that we've got started with the skate park, we may need to come back to you guys and look maybe increasing that payroll and getting started with somebody else on the Parks Rec, but we'll let you guys know. All right, I just want to make sure we just did a shift. Okay, are we good with that?
Yep.
Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by Bonnie.
Second.
second by Rob. Oh, you're trying to beat Brad. Look at you trying to beat him. All right.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
No, thank you, council. I appreciate that. Like I said, we're excited stuff with Parks and Rec, and we're just getting started with it. We'll learn more as we go along a little bit, right? As the volume and everything starts working on it. All right, so now we have new business, public hearing for our location here. We just want to bring conversation up first. Do you want to just mention anything about this first one here?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the other stuff. What now?
Should
Okay,
we
well-
get the other stuff done first, Catherine?
Do what?
Should we do the other things first and get that done over with?
Do we want to, you want to do that what you're talking about?
You're talking about reading the other ordinances?
You mean yours, Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming the third one will be tabled since we voted yes.
All right, so we're gonna hold off just on the public works. We're gonna go ahead and, is that what you wanna do, Bonnie? I'm good with that, because it kinda entails what's going on with this. So what we wanna do, Catherine, we're gonna start with ordinance 02539.
All right, City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025039, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 0.982 acres more or less located at 632 Old Preston Highway South in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037-000-015 from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow. Summary. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 14, 2025, docket number 2025Z-29, and recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of approximately 0.982 acres located at 632 Old Preston Highway South, also known as parcel 037-000-000-015, hereinafter subject property. AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact for overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone the subject property. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council overrides the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone the subject property. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement.
You know, a lot of this is moving target here, but make sure for all of you, we'll make sure you guys have any questions. Make sure this next 2 weeks that we're.
So which,
So that is
Which
the
property is
that's
that
the first piece, that's it. That's the one that,
That's the smaller piece of property.
yep, that's the 3.5.
so, store?
No, that's
No,
for the,
that's for the housing.
for the residential.
Okay.
It's that one
Are
there, and then,
we tabling that one?
No.
no.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is we're amending the Bullock County City, their zoning for that. We're amending that piece.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead of ag, residential? Or no, with,
So mag
B2.
to B1.
By the way,
And-
it says B2 in here.
Do what?
That's correct. It says B2.
Are you on 3.9?
Yeah, you get 3.9.
Look at the top, are
Should
you
we
on
go to
25.039?
Go up, keep going.
Okay,
Yeah, right there, 8.2.
okay. Yep, my bad. B1.
Okay. All right, Ms. Catherine on 025-040, and that is the one for the,
This is also for where the
this is the.
bunkhouses would be.
Yep, yep.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 02504, an ordinance overriding the Bullock County Planning Commission's recommendation to amend the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 2.603 acres more or less located at Charles Hamilton Way in the City of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037-000-000-014AA, from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow. Summary. Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 14, 2025, docket number 2025Z-30, and recommended that the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map be amended to change the zoning of approximately 2.603 acres located at Charles Hamilton Way, also known as parcel 037-000-000-014AA, hereinafter subject property, from AG Agricultural to B1 Highway Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Section 3 sets forth the findings of fact for overriding the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone the subject property. Section 4 sets forth the City Council overrides the Bullock County Joint the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone the subject property, Section 5 sets forth that Bullock County City zoning ordinance and Bullock County City zoning map shall not be amended to change the zoning of the subject property. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirement. And so I just want to state that the reasons given, which were not in the summary but in the ordinance, were that, at least for the Bonnie who sponsored it, was that the property should be a true B1 zone. So that means for the residents living around there that if this passes, because the city's already rejected industrial and they are rejecting a B1 that operates like a residential property, that if a B1 comes, that B1 will most likely be approved. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands how that works.
It's not warehouses.
It's not warehouses. B1 is commercial businesses.
Not a lot, not, all right, so we gotta stay with you on that. Now, this third one,
Okay, I wanna make a motion to table
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Second.
all right,
Mike?
What are we tabling? Which one?
this is the 025041, that's the 8.4. Because that was approved on that property.
Approved the vote on the
Yeah.
fund.
So here comes me. Well, yeah, you can withdraw if you want. Withdraw, table, whichever,
Vote
yeah.
yes to table.
Sorry. That's why I said table indefinitely, but if you'd rather do the withdrawal,
Table indefinitely is fine. Or I got a second. Okay.
yeah.
You got a second?
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we got it.
All right, go ahead.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
So now we're gonna go back to,
And go back to public
yep,
hearing.
now public hearing. So, Kathy, I'll let you get started with that, but obviously on this property, that's the one, you want to discuss that, it's fine, I'll chair the BTU.
So the first public hearing is for BHW Properties LLC, parcel 03600000013D, 1.699 acres in the city of Shepherdsville. It's on West Blue Lick Road, and the application is to rezone from R3 to B2 for the purpose of a Dollar General store. And Emily, am I correct that this zoning was in part of this property is also in the county, so,
Yes, we plan on coming back for annexation.
Oh, have you got a
Okay.
copy of that?
Once, if we get, if we get this approved, we just wanted to move forward with the zoning.
You want us to get your
Okay.
clock here? You stay here.
did fiscal court approve it?
She's stressing with it.
Okay,
I had to do that.
okay. No, you're fine, okay.
Okay, so what we'd like to do is, I don't know, we have opposition or, so, no, that's okay. I mean, I wanna make sure I give both an opportunity if there's anybody here. But if you will, if you want to, do you want her to start first or? Yeah,
Yes.
Get her,
Yes.
Emily, go ahead and give your presentation and, we'll see who's here for and against it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I just passed out our presentation that we presented at the Planning Commission, where we received a unanimous favorable recommendation, and then we also went to the fiscal court on last Tuesday. We did not have any opposition at either the Planning Commission or at fiscal court. We will have the second reading and vote at the next fiscal court meeting, and as Catherine noted, part of this property is in the county, part of it is in the city, but we do intend on annexing the portion that's in the county into the city after we go through the zoning process. So, to start on this first page here, and I just printed these out because I've had technical difficulties with these screens before, so I just want to go ahead and print it out for you all. This is just an overview of the aerial of the property. It's only a portion of this property that that is subject to the zoning. You can see that the entire property is 4.62 acres. And Then this next slide is the proposed, development plan. You can see this portion right here, that leg of the property, that's gonna remain as part of the post-shep, property, and it backs up to that mobile home park there. And, the second page that I gave you all was the revised plan that we prepared based on the planning commission's recommendations. So we'll get into that later. As you can see from, if you all looked at the staff report as part of the file, a portion of the development is in the floodplain, but the building will not be. And we have detention basins noted on the site plan, but all drainage will be reviewed and approved by the city,
They got
before the
confirmation
site
on the
plan.
elevation on that?
I'm sorry?
They got a confirmation on the elevation of that? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think we have that yet, but we have discussed this plan with Arthur and, with Arthur twice. And first before we, went through the
No
zoning
worries.
process.
I just thought if you had it, you just kind of
No,
curious.
we do not, I don't think we have those elevations.
Okay. Just, what did you have to raise it out of the floodplain?
We do not have to raise the building whatsoever.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
The building's not in the
There's
floodplain.
an island in the property that's not within the 100-year floodplain.
Okay, because I was, when I first heard all about this, there was some elevation to it, which is fine. Either way, I mean, obviously it's elevated, it's about drainage where it goes, but that's okay.
There may be some fill within the non-floodplain area of the property. We intend to minimize and possibly completely eliminate any fill.
No, I think it's great. There's always the three things you're gonna find: aesthetics, water, and traffic. That's it.
Right.
I mean, those are pretty much the standard questions we're gonna ask you guys and stuff like that. We just wanna make sure that the public gets to know, and anybody that's concerned about it just knows. But, great.
All right, so then this next slide, this is the overview of the current land use map. You can see there's a lot of residential around, and then there's also some industrial and businesses located nearby as well. The future land use map marks this as high-density residential with commercial use in the area. And part of the staff report was that the proposed use as a Dollar General was a supportive use based on the commercial use in this area. You can see that high density is contemplated here, but really this property would not be suitable for high density in this area. And the planning commission found that because there are so many higher density residential uses in the area, this would be a good amenity for those higher density residential properties to utilize. It gives them something that they could walk to. And I'll get to the overview of the other Dollar Generals that are located in this area and the proximity as well.
Emily, it was a unanimous vote, is that correct?
Yes.
Question, or maybe a statement, because part of this property is not in the city limits, correct?
Correct.
So we have to do an annex, right?
Yes, that's what I said earlier. So we have gone to fiscal court already for the first reading for the property that's currently in the county. We'll go for a second reading, and then after the zoning process, we'll come back with the annexation portion for the county board, the part that's in the county. Okay. So then this slide here, and then you can see it kind of on this revised plan here. This is the proposed site plan. And again, based on the staff report, this receives favorable recommendation from the staff as well for this proposed use. You can see that the parking's located off Blue Lick Road, and then the Dollar General's more towards the back of the site. We're also showing a lot of landscaping along the perimeter of Blue Lick Road and the adjoining property owner. So the parking lot will be screened with landscaping as well. And then the detention pond, which we again discussed with Arthur. He does not see any potential issues right now with it. And we also, one of the items that was discussed at the Planning Commission was connection, a future connection with adjoining properties, and also widening of Blue Lick Road. So you'll see that in the restrictions that were placed when we get to that.
Emily, is there gonna be a fence around this detention pond?
If it's required by city ordinance, then we'll do whatever we apply.
I don't think that we do have.
We don't
have that. I'm just
it.
concerned because the trailer park behind there has a lot of children. And all the apartments have a lot of children.
Should be required by the county.
Don't know.
If it's residential, then there will be fencing involved. If it's residential adjoining B2. I think it is residential zone B2, so there would be, the 6-foot fence requirement
Okay.
and screening.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then this next exhibit just shows the proposed truck maneuvering on the site. The load here in the back, and then the parking would be for pedestrians and customers and things like that up in the front.
How often do they deliver?
I
I think it's a couple times a week, and it's
Yeah.
usually early in the morning.
I actually know that answer. I know who delivers.
All right, and then just to give you a visual of where this site's located, this is West Blue Lick Road. You can see the proposed site here on the right. This is on West Blue Lick and Mallard Point Boulevard facing north with the site on the left. And then this is directly looking at the site on West, if you're sitting on West Blue Lick Road. A few more slides. Looking at the site, here's where the proposed entrance would be off of West Blue Lick Road. We did discuss sidewalks at the planning commission, but sidewalks run on the other side of the street all the way down West Blue Lick Road, so they did not see a need for us to put a sidewalk in on the other side as well. And then this is looking across the site. If you're sitting at the site, you're looking across from West Blue Lick. Okay, this is an aerial, so you can see the residential in the area. You do have single-family homes right here, but then you also have the reserves of Thomas Glen. You have the Shepherdsville Point Mobile Home Park, and then the Shepherdsville Village Apartments, and then this mobile home park here is what backs up to the proposed site. Part of the discussion was that pedestrian access, which we are showing on this plan here, to connect. We discussed either a drive aisle or pedestrian. Pedestrian was the more favorable option to limit, cut through traffic, but to also allow the people of this mobile home park to be able to access this property. There's also not enough room here for a drive aisle because there's a basketball court that encroaches into the property, and so we didn't want people driving, next to a basketball court where potentially kids would be playing. So it is just a proposed sidewalk for pedestrian access. This is an aerial of the nearest Dollar General locations. I know that these two that are 1.7 miles and 1.8 miles seem close to it, but in reality, it's about a 40-minute walk if you do not have a car. So this proposed site allows for this to be accessible for pedestrians if you don't have a car, or as Jeremy Kuback brought up, if there's traffic or something, you have the ability to walk to this location if you're in the surrounding area, and gives another option to those residents. And then this is the site plan on an aerial, so you can see where the entrance would be, the proposed detention basin, and then there would be again pedestrian access from the mobile home park, and the site would be, the parking would be up towards the front with West Blue Lick, with the additional landscaping, with this proposed building closer to the back.
Is the design similar to the one that's on Bell's Mill, right there? That's similar to what, do we have any idea of the design? I'm sure it's similar to that.
I think
That's
this is a little bit, it's a little bigger,
a little bigger than that?
what they call a Dollar General Plus,
Plus, okay.
a little over 10,000 square feet.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this is the staff report, and future land use map. The future land use map proposes high-density residential, but as we discussed, this area is not suitable for that. But this commercial use does fall under the supportive uses for neighborhood commercial to serve nearby residents, and it's located near higher-density multifamily developments. Neighborhood retail and services includes corner stores, dry cleaners or daycares, but does not include high-traffic uses such as gas stations. So that is why this falls under a supportive use. Again, we received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission. We did not have any opposition at the fiscal court, and while the Planning Commission found that the proposed development does not meet the comprehensive plan, the proposed use is complementary to the surrounding zoning and existing developments. They added that the following 3 restrictions, that we would work with the adjoining property owner, Post Shep, to develop an easement for pedestrian access, which is what is shown on this revised site plan. And then that we would grant a 20-foot drainage easement to Shepherdsville for the right-of-way. We discussed that with Arthur as well, and potential plans for the widening of West Blue Lick. So that addresses, if that does come up, we are prepared to dedicate that. And then the site is only restricted to lawful retail use, so it could not, it would be a Dollar General or something similar in use. And then I won't go through the other parts of the comprehensive plan, but we do meet the land use and character goal, the transportation goal, as the West Blue Lick is sufficient to serve this site, economy and resiliency, community facilities and utilities. The site is has the appropriate utilities to serve the site. Environment, drainage, and open space. We're providing the detention basin and the proposed buildings not within the floodplain. And then we went through the checklist, the county-wide development criteria checklist. We fulfilled that, and the development area checklist, as well as the future land use map criteria checklist under the commercial criteria. So because of the recommendation from the staff, the fulfillment of the goals of the comprehensive plan, favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission, we did not have any opposition to address. We just addressed the restrictions that Jeremy placed. We see that this is significantly less intense than a high-density residential site and suitable for the area, so that's why we're asking for approval on this zoning.
Bonnie, she said his name 3 times. I just wanted to make sure you saw he was doing his job. No, but anyway, I appreciate that, because he did get some good input, and so I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have, I know we've got one to support it. Do we have anybody against this planning and zoning at this property? They didn't have anyone at planning and zoning. I just want to make sure. We have somebody for it. Mr. Chris Sims, would you come up here for a minute, please? No, come on up here. Come on up here. Come on up here. You get to be a celebrity up here.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Will you sign it?
Oh, yeah,
So we
they
can
can,
write your
we'll
name
get
and
it.
address
Sure,
on the place.
absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get the, who was it?
The man right there with the blue hat.
Oh.
The blue ball cap raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, so I'll get you to come up in a minute. All right, Chris?
A lot of you guys know me, I'm a car dealer. I bought 6 properties on 44. You know, we've grown fast last year. I think we did 5.8 million in sales. We had 700,000 in payroll. And I think the year before we had $500,000 in payroll. The goal for the next couple of years is $1 million in payroll. Shooting for 10 million in sales. But I bought the 5 acres next to this property to expand my dealership at. It's currently, I think, R3. So I will be coming to you guys as well to ask for, you know, a rezoning eventually. And but I think this is great for the community. I don't have any problem with it. Most of the people in the county just basically said so everybody can walk to the dollar store. So easy access for people for food and drinks and all of that. So.
Yeah, and I think the last minute stuff, picking something up and going home. It's right there for the Mallard Lake.
Yeah, and we, you know, me and my girlfriend, we visit the one next to us all the time. So I went there yesterday. We probably go there at least once a week. It's just really convenient for us versus having to drive all the way to Walmart, which is, we like living in the city for a reason, which is the amenities. It's close to everything. So.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Well, Chris, I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right. And then the gentleman here, what's the guy with the cap on, gentleman? Yeah. So would you like to come up here? Same.
You had raised your hand. I thought you wanted to speak.
No, okay. No worries. All right, anybody else? Come on up here. Come on up here. If you will, we have a piece of paper. If you'll write your name and address on there, that'd be great.
Just my name?
The
Or do you
full
want
name
it-
and your address.
Address?
Yes, ma'am.
My question, in the back there, it's kind of hard to hear sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
In the explanations, I know we were talking about, I live in the neighborhood directly in Mallard. And so my concern,
a residential neighborhood, lots of children, lots of teenagers. Blue Lick is not a easy road to cross there, and it sounds like the purposes of this is make it available to everyone, but my concern is that what are we doing for that cross if this is going in? What are we doing to protect that there's no stoplights there, there's nothing, and you're gonna have people crossing that road, and
Yep.
I know I've heard of other incidences of children being hit or, you know, trying to cross some of these highways to get to a Dollar General, to get, what I don't think is always necessarily the most affordable food options for people either. But that's a whole nother topic. My main concern was the access and the residential crossings there from the larger neighborhoods.
So our commitment as a city, that's a state road, and so we'll get with them as far as a crosswalk across there, and obviously some signs for pedestrian crossing. I don't know what they'll limit what we can do, but if we show that this is gonna be drawing folks there from a walking standpoint, we're more than glad to do that. I'd be glad to reach out to them tomorrow and start at least that process. But we think there's something that has to be there, if you're gonna have some crossing there. And it's just a teachable thing, we gotta keep working, I mean, if we're gonna have that kind of crosswalk, have some signal lights that just show people can cross that area there and be more conscientious of that. But that'll be our commitment to make sure we look at the road.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't put a signal light there. The traffic, they won't allow it. KYTC doesn't allow that unless it merits a certain amount of traffic.
Traffic.
Yeah.
But
I-
that's my concern,
Okay.
because that's gonna be a dangerous crossing.
Very valid point. We appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Okay. All right. So on that one, do we want to read that? You want to read that first? Yeah. On this one, we don't have it?
Is,
This is just I'm sorry.
This was just the public
Yep.
hearing, but is there anyone that wants to sponsor an ordinance?
For this
either-
property?
For this property, either approving, overriding,
Okay, Bonnie?
or approving? Okay.
And just for your benefit, I know that, I do know this for your, Piazza Pros delivers the Dollar Generals. And it's in 24-foot trucks. It's twice a week. All right, Field of Grace. Who do we have here for the Field of Grace?
We got Mark.
Oh, there he is. What are you doing hiding? You were hiding back on me back there. I didn't see. Did you see? Emily, thank you, and I'll call you. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council.
We're doing good, sir. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
This is listed as 3 different tracks, and the reason it's listed as 3 different tracks is because the deed calls for 3 different tracks. It's proposed to be one unified subdivision of 67 lots. The Planning Commission put a restriction on it of no apartment buildings. The northern tract, the 13-acre tract that you see is the first one, is already zoned agricultural. The 2-acre tract in the middle is R1. The 9-acre tract on the end is agricultural. So the 2 ags are split by the residential tract. Property, if you're familiar with it, is between Pioneer Drive and Schulteis Lane. It's on the left-hand side as you head toward Lebanon Junction. Those of you that have been in the community for a while, the 13-acre tract was where Barney Horton used to have his used tractor parts, tractor junk, things of that nature. The church has cleaned it up. All of the city facilities would be available, water, sewer, cable, electricity, all the rest of those things. The entrance would be onto Highway 61, which is a major state road that runs north and south. The city has previously done a rezoning, which is now Helen Heights, which is to the north of this property. Property to the rear has been in the Mooney family for approximately 100 years and has not been developed, and most of the Moonies that owned it lived in Memphis, Tennessee. So they're even absentee landlords, haven't done a thing with that property for over 100 years. We're requesting R3 zoning because it would match the Helen Heights subdivision. There are some R1 zonings in larger tracts that are on the south end. Those individuals appeared at the Planning Commission and basically wanted their property to stay the same, which we're not asking for their property to be rezoned. They didn't want the squirrels and the rabbits to be disturbed, but if you look at the property, it's pretty much vacant and currently cleared. It has no standing timber, anything of that nature on it. It's too small for agricultural purposes. You can't make any money on tracts that small unless you're growing marijuana. We would request that the council rezone the property to R3 to allow the subdivision to be installed.
So just a couple questions for you guys. So the planning and zoning approved it, obviously.
What's that?
Have you been to planning and zoning yet?
Yeah,
And they've
Planning
approved-
Commission approved it. I believe the vote was 11-2.
11-2, okay. And then also, and Chris, you told us approximately 80?
67.
67, okay, I couldn't remember the number, but okay, so 67 on that tract.
67.
Okay, what's the acreage on that? Okay. I mean, each lot, what's the lot size? Okay, about 30, okay.
So is it gonna stay 3 lots, or is it gonna be?
No, it'll all be consolidated into one. Just as the church bought it, it was individual tracts, but it's gonna all be consolidated into one unified tract when it's approved, if it's approved.
How many units on that?
67 units.
67, okay. And do you
Single
all,
family.
are you all accounting for the widening of 61?
There was also a restriction put on that we could not build any closer than 50 feet from the center line of Highway 61.
Don't even know out there for it. I think the original plan's gonna go to 245, and then it'll go south on that, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I know there's conversation now between Salt River and 245 because of all the development on both sides. So, but I do think that's, I mean, obviously the housing, and what, the piece that I wanna make sure I bring up a lot, we talk a lot about that focus in that area, is that people can get on north and south on 112. You're not at 116 and 117. Traffic is always the issue. That's a great place for housing to be in that area, and that's important to the growth of the city. And to make it where the traffic is obviously an issue for us, not in a floodplain, and aesthetically building homes. So we try to dot those i's. I know the annexation was the piece that everybody was in conversation about, but now that place that's in place, looks like it's been approved from the planning and zoning piece. I appreciate that, Mark. You're not gonna grow marijuana, are you? Is that what you said?
That's the only way to make a farm work.
Mark, we appreciate you being here. Does anybody have any questions for Mark or for Chris? Dickey's right up front here. Do you have any questions? Anybody? Okay. Well, Mark, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So you got
So these would be 3 ordinances.
Yep.
Does anyone want to sponsor an ordinance either approving or writing? Approving all of them? Okay. Just clarifying.
Do we have anybody that wants to speak against that?
I'm gonna ask real quick here. Is there anybody out here that is opposed? Anybody against that would speak in favor? Not you, Chris. You don't get to speak.
Or in favor? Anybody want to speak on it one way or the other? Okay.
All right, well, thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mark.
Yep, Mark, thank you. Chris, thank you so much as well. Good to see you again.
I think now I read it. Oh, 42.
I'm sorry, what? Yep, 8.4. Are you ready? No, that's not 8.4.
We are
We checked-
8.5.
It's 8.5.
8.5, the budget. All right, is there anything you want to say first, or you want me to read it?
No, I just,
Okay.
we discussed obviously about adjusting, making sure everything is correct. We talk a lot about the audit purposes, we have to have an amended budget. So we talked about our progress in getting these things done. We have not had an amended budget for years in the city. We mentioned to you as our commitment is as we look at the budget this year, if there's anything that's gonna be over, you'll be notified first before any expenditures go over that line that are in the ordinance. That's a commitment we made to you. We know that we got the fire department, we're gonna look at this. If you've looked at it, it shows you the adjustments to the 2 top lines on that ordinance. That balances. When you look at making those adjustments there, as you bring it down, it actually carries over. That bottom number at the very bottom of that last page shows you what we carried over into the year we're in. That number had to be corrected, because that was the only thing that wasn't, just through expediency. And I take responsibility for that. We should have had that done when we did the rest of that amended budget. But we have to do this to make sure it's correct. So that's why we have it. And if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer it. We sent it out as an email 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. We just want to make sure if there's any questions about that. You want to add anything to that, Ms. Catherine?
No?
Okay.
I'll I don't have to read as many numbers, though.
No, you just gotta read some, you just have to read just a couple, we're not gonna be reading no 50 numbers.
City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, ordinance 025042, an ordinance amending ordinance 024018, adopting the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky annual budget for fiscal year July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government, sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow. Whereas the City Council adopted ordinance 024018, adopting the annual budget for the operation of city government for fiscal year July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025 on June 10, 2024. And whereas the City Council desires to amend ordinance 024018 to more accurately reflect the city's operations during the fiscal year July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, now therefore be it ordained by the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, Section 1. Ordinance 024018, adopted on June 10, 2024, is hereby amended as follows. Section 2. Section 1 is hereby amended as follows. Resources available in the general fund, transferred in ARPA and bonds, deleted $16,702,500, added $14,702,500. Funds carried forward in general fund, deleted $2,302,211.63, added $866,700.49. Total funds carried.
You're doing fine. Just read.
Total funds carried forward in the general fund, deleted $19,004,711.63, added $15,569,200.49. Estimated revenues all remain the same. Total resources available for appropriations, deleted $48,007,707.32, added $44,572,196.18. Appropriations all remain the same. Total appropriations remain the same. Excess of resources over under appropriations, deleted $8,213,108.35, added $4,777,597.21. Estimated fund balance to be carried forward to fiscal year 2025-2026, deleted $8,213,108.35, added $4,777,597.21. Section 3, the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared severable, and if any section, clause, line, paragraph, or part of this ordinance shall for any reason be declared invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity of the remainder of this ordinance. Section 4, all prior ordinances or parts of any prior ordinance in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Section 5, this ordinance is adopted in accordance with KRS 83A.060 in that it was introduced and given first reading on September 8, 2000. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right, what will the second reading be?
27.
27th?
Mm-hmm.
Given first reading on October 13, 2025, and given second reading on September 27, 2025, and shall be in full force and effect upon publication in summary on publication pursuant to KRS Chapter 424.
All right, just so you guys, it's a really easy way to make sure you understand this. If you look at the 14.7 that's up there, that's the 2,000 taken out of 2 million taken out of there that we didn't use the ARPA money in this year. We moved it over into next year. The second line there, the 800 that you see, 800,000, that is the actual amount out of the department heads that we actually got that money. And then the bottom part that makes that $4.7 million, 777, is the revenue difference. So if you add those up, that's the 4.77. That's what we put over 4.8 that we moved over. So that correlates with it. It is off 20,000. We can make that adjustment when we do the fire department, but that shows you the correction. Because you remember the number that was down there was 8.2. And that was, we didn't do the adjustments on the top two numbers. That's what created that over excess, because it wasn't 8.2, it was 4.8 that we carried over for this year's budget. We just need to make sure that number is correct. That's why we did it. It was the easiest way for you to for me to explain it to you. We just didn't do it when we did the rest of the budget. So again, we'll have our second reading on the 27th. It just now means that when we have our audit, they're working on the audit right now. Our audit that's being done right now, it'll be done probably somewhere in January. That means we're caught up. We're not going to get penalized anymore for being not on time on our budgets, and we are actually amending the budget as they requested we do. Okay, so a great year for the city. We were able to take $5 million, put it back into the budget to work on all these park plans that we got. So we're pretty excited about that. A lot of things that we're having done there, skateboard, skate park and everything else, is all part of that plan to continue to grow the city. So I wanted you all to know that. Thank you, Ms. Catherine. All right, into our next one here.
The resolution for the text.
Oh, yes.
Mayor, can we back up for a moment
Yeah.
here?
What you got?
The vote was no on ordinance 025
Item 7.2.
Hang on, let me get back to Mark, or Mike, and let's go see what they said. For 025035 was a no, a 3-2 vote against.
What were the finding of facts on that, please?
Do you have that?
Give me just a second and I can get them.
Yep.
Which ordinance is this for?
What's that?
Which?
It's
what
for
number?
health property.
035 is the one.
Yep.
Okay, Mike, the findings of fact in ordinance 0250 through 5. But there were no findings of fact in 035, because that was the one approving it. So basically, that one was the one that was approving, that was going to adopt the planning commission's recommendation. That got voted down. Now, if you're talking about the ordinances that Bonnie introduced, and you want to know the findings of fact set forth in those, I can read you those.
39 and 40 has those findings of fact in them, Mike.
There was no need of a finding of fact to override planning and zoning.
Well, so that vote did not actually override. That vote was to approve, and that just got voted down. That's why there was an ordinance introduced to override. That one is 039, 04, and 04. And those do have findings of fact. Do you want me to read those to you?
It was 040 and
039.
039, but we just had the first reading of that.
Correct. Correct. So, and in that, there were the findings of fact.
Are those not in the information he has had?
Well, I mean, I've sent the ordinance. They're not in the summary. I did not put them in the summary this time.
Okay.
But Mike, do you want me to state them?
Pardon?
You want to email it to you?
Do you want me to?
Just email
Okay. Yeah, there were 9 findings of fact, at least in 0309 or
them. We haven't
039.
voted on those yet.
We have
Correct.
not. We have not.
And then 8 and 040. I mean, I can summarize basically what Bonnie
You just.
put in.
just email it.
I can do that, but basically it was that B1 should be the actual functional use of the property. In summary.
All right. Ms. Captain, 025, I mean, 202503, the red, text amendment.
Okay. Well, do we wanna read it and then discuss it, or do we wanna discuss it and then read it? I guess we can read it and then discuss it.
Yeah.
That way.
Everybody has a copy of the resolution? Council, you have it with you, right?
It's on your screen.
Resolution
Yep, it's on your screen, but it's those 3
2025-03,
pages.
yes, except for the one that's on there is not correct. It's not the most recent one that I sent out. So it changes starting in paragraph 2. But I'll tell you that when we get there. City of Shepherdsville Resolution 202503, a resolution by the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky City Council proposing a text amendment to include definition and zoning classifications for transitional housing. Whereas the city recognizes the need to expand housing options for individuals and families transitioning from homelessness, institutional care, incarceration and recovery programs, and seeks to promote inclusive and equitable access to residential neighborhoods. And whereas transitional housing serves a residential function and is consistent with the character and purpose of residential zoning districts when designed and operated as a household. And whereas the Fair Housing Act 42 U.S.C. Section 3604 and the Americans with Disability Act 42 U.S.C. Section 1232, I believe, prohibit discrimination in housing and require reasonable accommodation for individuals with disabilities, including those in recovery. And whereas the absence of a clear definition and zoning pathway for transitional housing creates uncertainty for applicants, staff, and the public, and may result in arbitrary and inconsistent land use decisions. And whereas the Bullitt County 2045 Comprehensive Plan affirms the importance of housing diversity, neighborhood stability, and access to supportive services as part of its long-term land use vision. And whereas defining transitional housing as a residential use and establishing reasonable standards for its inclusion in single-family and multifamily zones will enhance regulatory clarity, protect neighborhood character, and ensure lawful access to housing. And whereas the city seeks to proactively address housing needs and legal obligations while preserving local discretion through conditional use review and supplemental standards. And whereas residential, leave that part out. Now therefore so we're gonna leave out that last whereas. Now therefore in the interest of the health, safety, and welfare of the city of Shepherdsville and its citizens, consistent with the comprehensive plan, and on the authority of KRS Chapter 100, the City of Shepherdsville Council proposes by this resolution the following text amendment to the zoning regulations for Bullitt County and the cities of Hillview, Lebanon Junction, Mount Washington, and Shepherdsville to the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission. Number 1, amend section 2.200, words and terms defined to include the following definition for transitional housing. So the definition would be transitional housing, a residential facility providing temporary or intermediate term housing for individuals or families transitioning from homelessness, institutional care, not including incarceration or recovery programs. Transitional housing may include supportive services such as counseling, case management, or life skills training. It is considered residential in nature and distinct from boarding houses, tourist camps, shelters, or institutional care facilities. Number 2, amend section 5.302 residential uses as follows, and this is where it changes. So we would add under 5.302 residential uses, we would add transitional housing, and it would be a permitted use in R1, R2, R3, and R4. Number 3, add the following section. It would be section 5.607 transitional housing. A, permitted zones. 1, permitted in all residential zones. B, the following requirements shall apply. 1, all bedrooms and sleeping areas shall meet the current occupancy limitations required in any applicable building, fire, or life safety code. 2, transitional housing shall be a temporary housing arrangement for its residents with stays generally ranging between 6 months to 24 months. Such housing is intended to serve residents as they transition into permanent housing. 3, transitional housing facilities shall provide adequate supervision. That's okay. 3, transitional housing facilities shall provide adequate supervision to ensure safety, welfare, and orderly operations of the residents. Supervision shall be defined as the presence of a designated staff member, manager, or responsible party who is available on site or on call during operating hours. The level of supervision shall be proportionate to the number of residents and the nature of services provided. Number 4, non-residential uses and services that are not accessory to the transitional housing use shall not be carried out unless otherwise permitted and approved as a separate use. Transitional housing that serves as recovery housing should follow best practice industry standards and operational rules such as the National Alliance for Recovery Residences standards. Number 5, transitional housing shall meet the health, sanitation, structural, property maintenance, fire, and life safety requirements of any currently applicable federal, state, and local laws. 6, the maximum density for transitional housing facilities constructed as dwelling units shall be the maximum density of the applicable zoning district. 7, any building shall remain or shall be constructed so that the exterior design and ornamentation is residential in character and compatible with other residential architecture in the immediate neighborhood so that there is no evidence from the street that the use is other than residential. 8, where such use is permitted in a structure which has been used as residence, the permittee shall make no substantial alterations or improvements to the structure which would impair the structure's use as a residence at a later time. Number 4, this resolution will become effective immediately upon passage.
You guys, I know you guys had some questions, and everybody's good with this. Have you looked it over and make sure?
And I'm not saying that if you guys aren't ready to vote, like if you guys want to talk, if you want to talk more, we can do that because this is a pretty hefty thing to to do, and I think that as they work on a whole new text regulation, that this will fill in that gap for now, and be a good place to start. Because clearly and I think that this caused some confusion, clearly there's an issue of how the planning director is going to, what he's gonna interpret at some of these transitional houses where they should go. This council disagrees, and I think the law supports this council's position that it really should be in residential zoning, not business. But what the city can't do is say, well, we don't like how Charlie did it and do nothing, right? We now have to be proactive, because we have to provide a pathway to people that want this, and we can't just say, oh, well, our regulations are so too bad, so sad. So do you guys have any comments? Is there anything else you want to see addressed, added?
It modifies the definitions, what it basically
Yeah.
I think that this is a better route to go, to follow what the federal guidelines are. If we're gonna be doing this, we need to follow the federal guidelines.
Yeah. So they'd basically be allowed in any residential area, and the only thing that, they would have to comply with everything else like every other resident, occupancy, all of that. So let's say you have a house, and for some reason the way that, I'm gonna be real simple, the building code says you can't have more than 10 people, then the transitional house can't have more than 10 people either. But if they're allowed to have 10 people, they will be allowed to have 10 people. And so, if there's no changes,
Rob, did you want to say something? Did you have anything? I thought you were getting ready to say
Yeah,
something.
I had looked at that before, and yeah, Google AI tells me it's supposed to be in residential. I don't like necessarily giving up some, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? So, like, I like to have the fence if it's something like that, but can't do it.
correct,
But
yes.
it should be residential.
Yeah, yeah. They are there can be a few guidelines, like we said, about talking about, providing some adequate, it doesn't necessarily have to be, though, as you noticed, it doesn't have to necessarily be on the property. It can be on call, because every recovery and transitional housing is probably operated a little differently depending on what their needs and who they're trying to serve are, right? So, and obviously, if any resident is causing, any issue of any kind, noise or anything like that, no matter where they live or who they are, the police would be called, right? Like if I'm going around breaking into people's cars, the police are gonna
Right.
call on me.
I wouldn't do that as a
And
city
we have
attorney.
code
I would not.
enforcement,
Yes.
they're gonna.
They have to still keep the residents up, so, so, and our code enforcement has been very proactive, actually, so proactive that we're in court right now with 2 of them, so,
What's that?
You still there? I rode by it today.
Oh, no, but it's a long process.
it's a long process, unfortunately.
We've
I
been
mean,
2 years doing this.
It's on
The court-
20 years.
Well, I don't know how long it,
20 years on the Hallett's.
no, not that,
Oh,
we're
sorry,
talking about something
no.
else.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about Fifth Avenue too, but, yeah.
So,
And the couple across the street from me, I mean, it's just code enforcement just on.
Well, there's a legal process.
It's
In order,
not code
it's not
enforcement,
code
it's-
enforcement.
it's
I mean, we
the
fine them,
process things.
there's thousands of dollars against some of these properties, and then again, until they sell it, that's not an issue. But the thing is, you have a legal way that you can do things, you just can't seize somebody's property, and there's a lot to go into it. Trust me, I've been educated over the last couple of years trying to make some things different, and, just part of the process. I'm telling you that you're gonna see some things change. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Have any of you seen those articles in the Courier Journal last couple of days where they're talking about, these, transitional or rehab houses in Louisville? And, I mean, they found out they had like 160. And apparently there was some kind of law passed in 2024 with the state
Mhm.
that says they have to be certified. And so when they started certifying, half of them dropped off. Is that the same thing we're dealing with here?
that might be a different house, because the transitional housing does not require certification in Kentucky, because I did look into that. It might be, there's different levels of transitional/recovery housing, and I think there is something that's considered more of an official recovery that might have to be certified. This was not that, and I will admit, I'm not an expert on it by any
Well, I mean,
means,
the
but.
article mentioned transitional housing and rehab housing. I mean, it was like a 2-page article, and there was 2 different days in the Courier. I have the papers at home. If you wanted to take a look at them, I'll drop them off and let you read them and see if anything applies. But they kept referring to a state law
Now, I know that the city of Louisville, they require all of these type of homes to be certified,
Well, they said
to get a
it's state
certificate.
law
Okay.
that was passed in 2024. E-Town is going through the same thing, and they had a bunch down there, and when they found out they had to be certified, they actually have a dedicated police officer that goes out and checks on these places, and a lot of them closed up because they weren't meeting building codes, they didn't have the training or whatever, they just opened their house and said, we're taking these people in, and they said, no, you can't do that, you gotta be certified. So I don't know, I'm confused about the whole situation, but there's been big articles in the paper the last couple of days.
Appreciate that.
Say on there they have to live there 6 months to 24 months?
No, they don't have to. It says that the stays generally will be ranging from 6 months to 24 months.
Depends on the transition.
It depends just kind of on the.
They said 3 to 6,
I think that they said most of them last 6 months. They might have a few that are unique circumstances that might be available to transition to a permanent home in 3 months. But I think that and that's not a hard and fast. It's not like, oh, if they're not there for 6 months, then you're not transitional. It's not a hard and fast. That's just kind of the general concept. In other words, what it's supposed to really do is say that it's not what everybody considers a homeless shelter where they come in for a night or two and then they're wherever and then they come in when they don't have a place. That this is basically their home until they get a more permanent home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so do you guys want to
Make a motion to just take this resolution.
make a motion to, yes?
So you're saying if there's more than, for example, one family, or if they're not related, 2 or 3 families in one home? Is that what you're saying?
Do what? Say that again, I'm so sorry.
I'll give you an example. Down toward the end of my street, on the right, on the left, there are, I think we counted one day, 15, 20 people, including kids, that lives in this house. And it used to be, David Huss' old house. And, I don't know if they're related or they're different families.
Okay.
But, is that what you're talking about?
Single family, maybe?
Well, but each of the families that live there has so many kids.
Well,
But that's not transitional housing.
yeah, that.
No, it's not.
That-
transition.
We do
That's not
define, we do have this definition of family, but for,
Or this wouldn't,
no,
This
and by the
isn't.
way,
It's
even
not.
for your house, for the house that you're referring to, as long as they aren't exceeding occupancy, the state really can't say that only one
well, I
family
would
can live in
say
a
they
house.
are, but, you know.
So ma'am, I did look it up real quick. Recovery houses, which do recovery housing, which is different than transitional, they do require certification. And recovery housing provides different
So-
services that they were not, in this instance, Mark 12 was not going to provide. So if the state requires that certification, then we don't really need to address it in here because state law trumps whatever we do anyway. So state law, if it's a recovery house, they would have to be certified. You are correct. Transitional homes, which which are not recovery homes because they don't provide all of those services, they do not have to be licensed. So, but yes, so we do have a definition of family, but we could not use that for transitional
I
homes.
mean, they don't bother us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really nice, but, you know, there is, I'd say 15 to 20 people lives in the house. But it also has a basement, and then they turn the garage, the building they had out there into a small apartment.
Yeah, it's it's not applicable to the situation. Okay.
So I don't know if.
You guys got any more questions, or want to make a motion? Bonnie
Okay.
makes a motion, do I get
I'll
a second? Second by Jennifer? So I heard,
Oh, well, we voted on this already?
yep,
Yes, resolution.
Miss Nikki?
Okay. Rob?
Yes.
Okay. Bonnie?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
All right, thank you all, council. I appreciate that. We've actually got to do this pretty good. No executive session. We had that earlier. Planning and zoning we talked about. Board of Adjustments, Dwayne said we had nothing on there. I do have Chief back there, Chief and Chief. Hey, listen, why don't you come up together? You guys put a great, come on up together. The winners, they decorated it in the park, and then there was a plan to do that, and so these winners, let the winners come up.
They both won?
Well, the fire
I
department.
thought you
and the-
only could have one winner.
Well, they were together in their, Theirs was
Together in our efforts,
They had a,
First place, we got second, but they got first.
they got first.
Oh, so you all were
these-
working jointly?
Yeah.
Yes, what a,
Oh.
so they put their, so there was a
That's
display
nice
out there.
fun.
Vicky came up with the idea of putting out some displays in the park about different things, different departments. And they had quite a few of them out there. Tourism, I thought, had a really good one. I think they were kind of just, not saying it, and I love you guys, just saying. Anyway, but it's really cute what you guys did out there on the park. I mean, they had firemen and.
That's what we're shooting for, is cute.
I know.
So-
That's what I thought. It was cute. It was cute. That's what my wife said. That's why I'm gonna have to go with that. But anyway, congratulations. So, what do you got for us? I know you don't have a whole lot. I know everybody's busy, but
Just from our side, we've got, I've talked to y'all before about the grant we got from the Attorney General's office. We've probably gotten about $120,000 worth of helmets and bulletproof vests and ceramic plates that we've gotten from them, so that was very good. Thank you to the ones who were able to come out to the awards banquet. I think it went over real well. It's gonna be something we might do a little bit, something different each year to keep it fresh. But that was going, and other than that, we're just, priming up for the trunk or treat and everything coming up till Christmas and get that done. And hopefully a good, light up Shepherdsville and everybody can come out for that. And I'll turn it over to Chief.
what you got? Still
Support
good?
the city, that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Just all the events, whatever, make Amber happy over there, and,
That
whatever
is-
the
that our
city-
goal?
Whatever
Is
city
that
the
our goal?
council needs, that's what we're doing.
Okay, that's our goal. Then we'll
Yes,
go
sir.
with it. We all wanna make Amber happy.
All right.
Jim, I appreciate that. Like I said, I do want you to know, we, obviously, I'll get into it in just a minute here, before the council gets started. I do wanna make sure for you guys, thank you for your help. I mean, especially you guys helping water out there. Skate park's been a hit. Kids love it out there. It's been great. Everybody's been out there. And I think it's important for people to see, that's the first sign, the first project of the things we're gonna be doing down the road. The next thing is gonna be the front nine of the disc golf. We're gonna do a ribbon cutting on that next Monday, and it's gonna be along the river, goes all the way to the baseball fields. So it's kinda nice to have that, and then we're working on mitigation as far as the back nine, which would be behind the cemetery area. So it's just really to have these things. We got the basketball court, we got the pickleball court, they're always busy over there. The park looks beautiful, skate park's really doing well. I just think it's important for people to see some of the things. We've got big projects coming up. We talked about disc golf. The movies in the park, I know Sam's not here, but that was really enjoyable for the families. They got to come out free for 3 Saturdays in a row, had free popcorn for the kids. And I think there was just, it's kind of the affordability piece, just to come out, no cost, and then just they come out and have some popcorn, have some drinks, and just enjoy a movie. I think that's what we have to always look at as when we talk about family experience. I know Amber didn't talk about it, and I was gonna kinda get you to talk about, we're working with the schools on different projects, to be involved in maybe some landscape work at the skate park, maybe doing some kind of species in the city park, things that you can learn out there when you do field trips. We want people to see that that's where things are gonna go. And I'm gonna wait till next meeting to talk a little bit more about the Bounty Hope and things that we do. We're trying to reach out more of these families, going through the schools. During the holidays, we have the Christmas Day that we cook 400 meals, and we wanna do things like that again. But we just need to make sure we reach the families that need those meals. So we'll probably reach out to Mark 12 and some other folks to make sure that those families that are in need, just to say, hey, Merry Christmas and we love you, kind of thing. So I want to make sure you guys know. But listen, thank you guys. You're winners. Now the standard has been set. So next year, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
We're starting working on it right now.
All right.
They're gonna need to increase their budget for that.
Oh, no, and no increase on the budget.
You're gonna
No,
miss your opportunity.
no.
We only spent $10.
$10.
We'll amend it if we need to.
Yeah. Oh, well, oh, there you go. All right, no worries. But thank you, gentlemen. All right, council. All right. Mr. Rob, what do you got for us?
Well, we have a little bit of time. Catherine, can I talk about my ordinance or our ordinance that we want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about maybe trying to do some more text regulation amendments.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
so,
you got?
what we're looking at is like a transition buffer zone between residential and industrial areas. So we want to make an ordinance that has, commercial. We'll call it like the Sim City ordinance, because anybody that played Sim City would know not to put industrial next to residential and things like that. So we just wanted to get your feedback and see if y'all wanted to pursue that.
I think it's a very sensitive, I think it's a good idea. I really do. I think it's a good idea, and I think that's because we do have a sensitivity when we have these warehouses. You know, we want to keep them in the industrial park. We know that 61's got a development, and that's going to be critical. We saw that with the Cedar Place, and it's real sensitive. And how far do you have to be? A football field or longer, right, to be away? And then you got lighting, you got heights of buildings, so it's critical to us. We know that's our livelihood. We see that that's a big part of our revenue piece, but not at the expense of residents. So I think that's a good one, Rob.
Thank you.
All right.
Jenny, find out.
Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry. Well, hey, well, good job.
yes.
All right, well, good job, both you guys. Good job.
So it'd be a transition, kind of a transition zone
Yes.
district. It would be its own, like, zoning area. It would actually change the future map because we would place that in there. So it's a little
Like
bit
a conservation
more
piece?
of a,
Not conservation, just a buffer like a.
Like
You go
a,
from-
area, not just like a tree buffer, we're talking zoning.
like another
buffers.
zone, like you'd put commercial buildings in there, or I'd send them
Yeah.
some
I got you.
permitted
We don't want
uses. Because we have a
warehouses
buffer
on
zone.
top of homes. Put a buffer in their business, commercial zone.
Gotcha.
Instead of,
Okay. No, I listen, I think it's a very sensitive topic. We see it already, and anytime we have planning coming in, people want to at least see what's going to be done. I know we had a meeting the other night and got a lot of good feedback of the concerns people have with being that close to their neighborhood.
Yeah, so here was some that I found: professional offices, administrative services, medical clinics, counseling centers, educational or civic institutions. These are just ideas. Parks, passive recreation areas, artisan workshops, or like light fabrication, like no outdoor storage. You all would also have to come up with lot size, development standards, lot size, maximum building height, setbacks, landscaping buffer, noise control, lighting, all of that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I mentioned to them, and we can do this now and try to do our own. We could also see about working with Charlie. They're redoing the regulations now. I don't know how fast we want to get this done, but also maybe working with Charlie on, as they're redoing this, creating that along with them in the new regulations. It would be a timing issue, right? Because that would probably be a longer, slower process than if we tried to put something in now. But it might be more compatible, right? Like if we're all on the same page and we're working with this versus just the city trying to come up with.
Yeah, it'd be consistent throughout the county. You could be setting kind of a standard of what we want to see everywhere else.
You talking about putting a special classification that has permitted uses?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It would be called, so we got residential zone, commercial zone, this would be called a transition zone.
Okay.
And it would be,
But it could be, technically, it could be, a conglomeration of either business uses, educational uses.
yes, and it's to,
public uses.
and it is to create a zone so that you don't have, like, so right now on our future use map, sometimes you've got industrial being planned literally up to the backyards of residential. I mean, I know we do have a buffer zone where they're supposed to be set back, but
Okay.
this would create,
Well, I'm
Other
just
businesses.
a dumb fireman. Would it not be easier to just say industrial can't be within 2,500 feet of a residential zone?
well, but you gotta figure out, so
something.
what would that, so
Whatever
that 2,500 feet, I
Whatever
don't know how
that
many.
distance that we determine, it doesn't have to be 2,500, but I'm just throwing that out there.
You
as
gotta
an
have a
example.
setback.
So if I own that, so let's say though that like, but maybe I own a lot in between where you would put an industrial and a residential, and maybe I wanna zone it something, right? But the question would be, well, what is the best zone for that piece of property? Because residence is on one side, industrial is on the other, and what you all would be establishing is, here's what would normally go there. This is the type of, that we would put.
Right. But it
And-
would automatically exclude another industrial property.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
That's the purpose.
And I don't know that it would necessarily exclude residential. I mean, I guess you could, if somebody wanted to,
I mean, if you put a distance on it, and then that intervening distance, it automatically excludes putting an industrial and a residential
yeah.
property, right?
But you need to figure out what can go there, right?
Right.
You can't just, like, if I own a piece of property that's gonna be in between, you can't landlock me and say, oh, too bad, you don't get to be zoned at all. You don't get any rezoning, right? So like,
Well, right.
you would be the transition zone.
Right, but
And
you're
that
only
would tell you-
excluding the two zones. Everything else would be up for grabs theoretically.
Theoretically. So, I don't know, I mean, it's just kind of, that's why I said,
Let's just, can
bring
we
it to,
get some more information on it?
bring it
Guys,
to
what's
them,
up?
bring it to
Give me
you
some more
guys.
details. I'd love to see this, because I can see
Yeah.
where this
And
goes.
then, we'd like to get it on paper pretty soon.
Okay.
and we can always amend it as we go with Charlie.
I think that the reason I was saying that is because I know they're hiring a company. So they've got probably, this company has a lot more resources in terms of like, okay, you want to create this. Here's all the things to really think about and consider that I don't know. I mean, I won't speak for you all, but I know I don't have expertise in that area in terms of thinking and knowing all that stuff. So that's why I just suggested, do we want to work with, you know, Charlie, since they are currently in the process of doing that? Would that make maybe, you know, because that might give you guys some ideas and say, oh, okay, yeah, we like that, and we could be more involved in that part.
You got one, can one of you guys make some time to go see Charlie? I mean, I know you've got,
We can.
yeah, why don't you guys go get some information and find out what they're doing and kind of tie it into what you're trying to put together. I just do think there's a good conversation about this. I'm not sure what the real answer is yet, but I think it's a conversation we have to have.
And maybe we at least start with Charlie and get some input from, you know, him on like how fast they're moving, things like that. So, and so I don't, if you guys want, I'll email him and CC you guys tomorrow and just say, you know, you brought this up. We'd like to meet with you to see what the best way is, you know, moving forward, since we know you're in the process of amending that.
Sure.
And then you all can decide as a council
Okay. Sounds
how
good.
fast you want to move. And then there was one other, right, Rob?
Yep, you got one more?
Well, the other one was, yeah, kind of, that was like future, but.
Okay. And that would be a trickier too. That one I think would be best to go through.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Go ahead.
Well, which one? They came up with three.
I remember the two. The one about the retention ponds.
Retention ponds, oh, okay. Because when we were looking at the, professional buildings as one of the transition zone.
Yeah.
Pictured fountains. And I looked at, some of the benefits of a fountain, and one, it promotes, better drainage because otherwise the sediment builds up in the bottom of the pond. The pond gets shallower as time goes on, and then it's not working as well with drainage. And then the other is that it creates more surface area as it's spouting out, which promotes evaporation to get rid of water. So I was thinking that we could maybe not tie it into the same.
Right, no, it would be a
I
separate
don't know, it'd
one.
be separate, and be careful with that, because like I said, some of the things, we've seen some costs, like we did the town square, we were looking to have one there, very expensive, and it's a lot of maintenance, so you're asking quite a bit there, so just be careful with that. I mean,
It is,
if we can
yeah.
make something work in that way, I'm not against that either, anything we can move water around, so it doesn't just stagnant, I mean,
Yeah.
if you can do that, that's fine, but just be
Yeah.
careful, that's
So
a
it
little,
might be,
that's a little more expensive that you're
Right.
asking a business to do.
and that would be
Well,
good
a
to
lot
talk
of
with Charlie
businesses
about
do
too.
that though.
Some
Like,
do.
well, that's what
If
we're
you look
saying.
at- yeah.
Like when they do theirs, you know, like when you're talking professional buildings and stuff, they'll have,
There's
like
some that do
in
that.
their retention ponds, they'll
Yeah, there's one there
automatically
about,
put that for
right
the
behind racetrack,
aesthetic.
was
Yeah.
it the distribution for Walmart has a little place there?
Yes.
They have one there, so.
Yeah.
I mean, they were willing to do it, it's not to say it's not gonna be done, I just,
Yeah.
again, we're
And then
always asking
things
for
to think
cost.
about, like maybe, is there a certain size retention pond that you wanna start having them at? Maybe smaller ones you don't necessarily need, you know, I don't know. These are all things that, and maybe, you know, the company that they're working with, if we can get tied in with Charlie early on, maybe that company has the experience and the knowledge to be like, okay, here's what we found works best, here's what's compatible with the city, but with what our builders can do, right? I feel like starting with at least talking to him is a good start. And then, was there a third one, Rob? I don't remember.
There was a third one, and not really my idea. I actually think it was Kenny Newton's idea, or Brad's. I know they were sitting right there. But historic districts.
Oh, yeah, the historic district, like an overlay, sort of like what we did with the tourism.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that would
downtown.
also be really good to work with Charlie and the regular, you know, when they're doing that, because again, they can bring that experience
Yeah.
so that, because I feel like that should be an in-depth.
And that's vital for that downtown area, because we really wanna make sure what goes down there and what doesn't go down there.
So I will email him, and if I forget something, you'll at least have his email, and that'll start the conversation for you guys. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
I like this story. I mean, we've talked about that,
Right.
already.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that already, but I think it's great that you guys think about it.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Jennifer, what would you like to add to that?
I'm not adding, I'm good.
So, no, wait, so that was a Jennifer Rob comment together. Okay, that's good. Thank you for both that. Brad, what do you got for me?
Yeah, just want to say thanks to, I did get to attend the police awards banquet. That was very nice. So thanks for Chief Schmidt for putting that on. I did want to say with respect to the planning and zoning, I probably should have said this earlier, but, and I think I've said this before, is these are the toughest decisions that we have to make as council members. They're very, you know, and it seems like more and more they get more and more contentious. The ones we dealt with tonight, we had a lot of input, both positive and negative. You know, obviously you saw that we had a difference of opinion in the way that we voted, and that's okay. I just want to let everybody know that you know, we do take in a lot of information, we take in a lot of opinion, but it's not all about what one person likes and what another person doesn't like. You know, it's about what's legally defensible, what's, you know, how it fits the area. There's a lot of things that go into it, and, you know, I can say we're not experts in this. We just do the best that we can. So just give us a little bit of grace. However you think we should have voted, you know, we just vote the best way we can with the knowledge that we have. So I just want to say that. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Mike, what you got for us?
Well, I'd like to mention on the proposed text amendment, obviously, if we make this proposal, every other city has the option of either accepting or rejecting. They don't have to, you know, I don't think the county has to change it. Brad just mentioned, and, you know, an awful lot of what we vote on, I believe should be on fact. And I don't think it always is. So, there's a certain amount of freedom, I think, in property owners, not necessarily to do just anything they want with their property, but within reason. And I'm not just talking about the current situation, I'm talking about ones that have come into the past where I think a gentleman proposed to build a certain amount of apartments higher priced. Council didn't agree for some reason on what he was going to value those as. I think that's his option. If he can't sell them, he can't afford to it, I'd like to be first in line for the fire sale. But I don't know. I kind of grew up in an era where people could do a little bit more with their own property than seems to be the situation now. So that's all I have this evening.
All right, thank you, Mike. Last but not least, Ms. Bonnie?
Mike, on those apartments you're talking about, my vote was not about the price of the apartments. My vote was about the fact of them putting the entrance out on that street that wasn't right to the one-lane street. So it had nothing to do with the price of the apartments, just for record purposes. And yes, I agree with Brad. This is hard decisions doing this zoning stuff. We get pulled a lot of directions and we get a lot of facts that we have to go on. And yeah, we got a lot of phone calls from both sides. I appreciate all of them. But it is a hard decision to make. I based my stuff on logistics. I think that there's ways for this to work out, but it's got to be the right logistics. And people are going to have to accept that homeless shelters are going to come whether we want them or not, whether citizens want them or not. They're going to be here because federal government protects them. So we have to set up the best guidelines we can to make sure that they work well in the neighborhoods.
Not homeless shelters.
Well, transitional, excuse me.
Under federal law.
Yes, it's under federal law. But I think that we can find a way for everybody to work together. But that's all I have.
Bonnie, thank you, council. Can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Second?
Second.
No, look at that.
Who seconded Bonnie?
Yeah, Bonnie second, Rob was first. All right.
All right. Rob?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Council, thank you all.
All right.
All right.
It is 7:57.
Thank you.